You gotta grab one of these spinners, baby. $5 whole bird. Where do you see that?
That's a need to a grounded opponent. Call the cops.
Episode 254, UFC Perth. Let's go. If you're new here, Meat Boy MMA, free DIY lock since 2020. We've been tapped in, Meat Boy. Your boy is undefeated in 3 straight weekends. Last week, obviously, the MEATLOCK cashed with absolute ease. We picked Jackson McVeigh over Sketchriquez Dumas, and we essentially said there's no way that fight gets out of the first round. There's no way Cedriquez ever wins another UFC fight, and we're kind of all over that one, though. So any thoughts on last week's MEATLOCK? Easy light work, Moose Buffalo?
Yeah, Moose Buffalo, absolute lock, easy light work, as we said. And I think this week is also another, a little bit spicier, but also another lock, nonetheless.
Yeah, it's a much better card this week. We're going down under. If you're looking for this week's locks, head straight to the timestamps. But the other 2 fights that we broke down, we called Alexander Hernandez versus Rafa Garcia. You picked Alexander the Great Ape. I took Rafa Garcia. Garcia really dominated. Quite an impressive performance from him. And then in the meat event, we were both all over Aljo as the dog. Most people were picking Yusuf Zalal in this online YouTube picking space, but we basically said, yo, this is Aljo. This is a levels test. This is a guy who's aiming for another belt, and Zalal simply isn't ready for this level. And that was a 4-1 domination as well. So, what were your thoughts on our call of Aljo as a dog, and what do you make of what's next for Aljo?
Yeah, no, Aljo as a dog was just mind-blowing to me. And yeah, I mean, it kind of happened exactly, as we saw. I mean, I thought the Funk did an amazing performance, kind of showed why he's kind of the man still, and that Zalal's kind of got fraud checked there. And so I think what's next for him is he's probably getting cut. UFC is probably so upset. They're hoping probably this Yusuf Zalal would knock him out or submit him or something, but he just ain't ready for the big leagues. And I mean, 145 Sterling, he gets ragdolled by Mobzar. Maybe he could run that back. He could, I don't know who they give him because anyone else, it's like, I mean, do you give him Max Holloway? But then like, would he just do um, what's his name just did to Max Holloway? Just ragdoll Charles Oliveira. It's like
Okay.
potentially, like Oliveira might do, he might do the same thing as Oliveira did. I don't know. Like Sterling's no joke in the wrestling department, and he's probably the best wrestler besides Mobzar in the 145 division right now. Um, so yeah, I don't know. It's very interesting. He's definitely in a tough pickle. I probably just see him being cut. It's like it's crazy to say he should fight, the next best guy, but I just don't think the UFC wants to do that.
Yeah, 100%. It's likely title shot next or off to Jake Paul for sure, because you don't see him being a promotional dream as a title challenger. But who knows? Maybe it's a new story, a new year, and a new division, and a new opportunity as a champ. Because I wouldn't mind seeing him back in there, I suppose. But I like your point. He's probably getting cut. Either way, you ready to swap us through to this week's meatlock? We're going down to Perth.
Yeah, we're going to Perth. Absolute meat lock on the meat down.
Swap us through then. You see the text. Beneil Dariush taking on Quillian Salkid, who's a minus 405 favorite. All the rage, right? The dude is 11-1, undefeated in the UFC. He's sleeping dudes with head kicks, beautiful first round finishes, and we're fading him even though he's a hometown co-meet because we think Benny Dariush is a true levels test in this one. And while, yes, we've been impressed with Quillian Salkid, this is a new level, and this is, very akin to last week's Aljo versus Zalal, right? You have this young prospect on a fat tear, goes up against a top 5 dude, and we'll see what happens. So we like Benny Dariush as a potential long dog log in this one. He's 17-7-1 in the UFC. Obviously, there's been the recent skid where he's lost 3 of 4, but the dudes that Benny Dariush is losing to are guys that you got to imagine would probably have some success even over a dude as tough as Quillian. I mean, Dariush's only losses recently, BSD Movement, Arman Sarukian, and Oliveira, right? So it's not like he's out there losing to bums. What are your thoughts on this one as a pretty long dog lock? I don't know if we've ever gone as long as plus 295 for our meat lock. So what do you make of the Dariush dog lock? How does he get this one done and earlier off?
Yeah, no, the Ariush Doglock, I think this is one of those ones that are just like, are we tripping here? Like, why are the odds such a massive disparity? Like, I mean, yeah, Benny's on a little skid, but it's still Benny. He's not losing to bums. He's losing to the best guys, and Scalati is not one of the best guys. So I think Benny the boy is gonna get this one done, and I think it is gonna be, within 2 rounds. So kind of early and kind of often.
Yeah, it's wild because if we are missing something, we're the only ones because Tapology is all over Scalati, right? 94% rolling with him. It's basically all Brown. They think that he's just going to go out there and sleep Dariush, easy light work. For me, I'm seeing this as if Dariush gets through the first 5 minutes, then this is going to be a long night for Scalati because I don't see, I mean, I know he's having this early success in his most recent contests, and you can't take away the finishes that he's got. They've been amazing. But this is, we're talking about Hazrat Nakprast and then Jamie Malarkey. I mean, come on, if we put Dariush against either of those guys, you know what the outcome will be. So in this one, how do you anticipate this fight ending? Do you see Dariush finding a way to get one of his submissions, maybe even a TKO in the second or third round, or is this a 3-round dominant decision? How does this fight end?
Yeah, no, I think this one's gonna end in a great way where Benny's gonna come out there, maybe look a little scared, but then he'll get that confidence by end of round one, either get the finish or he'll get the finish early enough in round two.
Yeah, let us know if you are picking at Dariush or if you're rolling with Scalati in this one, along with the 94%, along with everyone else who's inflating these odds to around minus 400. But we're going with the dog lock Benny in this one, keeping it simple, throwing down 100 to net a easy 295, get us back in the green. I mean, the Dolgarian revisit, we should already be there either way, but nonetheless, officially back in the green for the Dariush Doglock. I'll officially go third round finish. I don't think this guy's going to survive, and as long as, again, Dariush can get through those first 5 dangerous minutes when the head kicks are flying, the spinning back elbows are raging, I think that we are in good shape for this Doglock. So any last thoughts on this Dariush Doglock?
No, no, this is definitely a Dariush doggy lock, Benny and the Jets, and we'll be cooking absolute beef this weekend.
Yeah, we're still in home. Swap us through. Tai Tuivasa is taking on Louis Sutherland, and this is a fascinating one because Tai Tuivasa, despite having not won a fight in years, is a minus 163 favorite against Louis Sutherland. And you just look at Tuivasa's record. I mean, the dude is 14-9 overall, 8-9 in the UFC. So showcases how many losses the dude has accumulated, and he's lost 6 straight. Got slept in basically all of them as well. So it's been pretty rough for Tuivasa. I mean, we know this is a dude who has a nice finish over Harry Hunsuckle. He slept the Black Beast, but it's been nothing but him getting slept recently. And in this one, he finds himself as a rare favorite against Louis Sutherland, who's just a beer belly brawler who's coming to throw down, meet in the middle, and likely be comfortable with a fight that doesn't go past the first round. So in this heavy meat slobber, you take it on Tai Tuivasa as a favorite to finally get a win, or is the beer belly brawler going to sleep him too?
Yeah, the Beer Belly Brawler absolutely could sleep him. Um, but man, Shui's on a great losing streak, and that's why he'll probably get slept again. It's it's crazy to see Shui even a favor ever, let alone after a 6 fight skid. So this has to be some sort of joke. This has to be maybe a dog on the bone. I don't even know who Sletherland is, to be honest. But I mean, Shui's just that bad. Where I'm gonna take my chances, and yeah, Sletherland's probably gonna knock him out first round.
Well, yeah, on Sutherland, this is a dude who's 6-3, joins the LFL, becomes their champ, right? Signs with the UFC as a 10-3 guy, and he's been all over making waves, saying, "Oh, the UFC needs some new life in the heavyweight division. I'm the guy. Sign me up." Like he was trying to do the what's Homeboy's name? What's Black Beast fighting?
Oh, Josh.
He was doing the Josh Hokett before Hokett was even around, and now he's getting a good opportunity. But the odds makers have zero faith. They think that it's all bluster. And Hokett, who was getting a lot of love from the odds makers, a pick him against Curtis Blades. Homeboy Sutherland is not. So who are you taking in this one? And how do you anticipate this fight ending? Is this going past the first round or under 2.5 banger?
Yeah, no, I think this is gonna happen within the first round. I think Slytherin is gonna knock him out, KO right in the middle within the first honestly 60 seconds I could see.
Yeah, it should be a fun one either way. I don't anticipate it lasting too long, but everyone's bullish on Topology Tuivasa. 78% is going with Shui. They think he finally gets one done. Only 22% rolling with Slenderman. I'm with you. I'm gonna take Slenderman in this one. I think that he gets this one done. I don't know. Something tells me that he will land a heavier shot at the right moment, and Bam Bam is going night night. I just don't anticipate this guy being able to survive UFC heavyweight contest anymore. I almost worry for him because I think the Vanilla Gorilla Louis Sutherland sleeps him in a round. So we're both going with Slenderman this one.
Yeah.
Swap us through then. It's another interesting one. Slenderman Steve Urseg is a minus 323 favorite, taking on Tim Elliott plus 239. And Tim Elliott, what can you say about him? He's been on an absolute tear recently. Often cashes as a dog and often wins fights that most people don't pick him in. He's a great fighter and a former title challenger, and he's got a tough ask in this one against Steve Urseg, who is back. Right, he lost three in a row, but they're tough guys, right? Pantoja, Carr France, Brandon Moreno rebounds with a nice win over O'Day Osborne, and essentially got his career back on track. So who are you going with in this one? Do you think that Steve Urseg is a justified minus 300 favorite over Tim Elliott, or is this another one of those typical Tim Elliott cashes as a dog?
Yeah, no, I think Steve Ursek should get this one done. Tim Elliott should not win this, but I've seen Tim Elliott do some upsets, so it would not surprise me. I'm gonna pick Steve. Not that definitely not minus 300 confident, but he should get this one done.
He's a decent favorite, also getting 79% of the love on Tapology, and it's all beige, so they think that this fight, whoever wins, is going the distance. Any chance Steve Ursek can pick up a finish in this one? Because for me, this is a dude in Tim Elliott who is very difficult to finish. Astro Boy, meanwhile, needs a finish, right? I feel like if he could go out there and finish Tim Elliott, then he's right back in title contention. So is this a fight that everyone's anticipating decision? Maybe you sprinkle a little bit on like a Steve submission or a Steve TKO. Any life for that, or does this likely go the distance?
It probably goes distance. Maybe Steve gets a knockout, but I'm not gonna count it. I'm just gonna hold my breath on that one. I think it goes distance.
Yeah, that's fair. And Tim Elliott fights such an awkward style. He's very difficult to land punches on. It's going to be a good fight for sure. I can see a world where Elliott is competitive, maybe even wins, but I'll officially go Steve by split. I think that this fight is competitive to the last moment, but Steve Ursek should get this one done right. And if he doesn't, who knows what's next? But officially, you're going Ursek by decision as well?
Yeah, Ursek decision, 100%.
Not a lot there. Swap us through then. The last one's the meat event, Carlos Prates. It's basically a pick 'em, but he's a slight favorite, minus 117 over Jack Della, who's plus 113. And Carlos Prates is a dude who's 23-7, had a lot of experience pre-UFC, is now 6-1 in the UFC with a lone loss to Ian Gary. And Jack Della, meanwhile, also only has the one loss in the UFC. He went on an absolute tear, right? Beats Kevin Holland, Randy Brown, Gilbert Burns, obviously the champ, Bilal Muhammad, and has his only loss to Islam when he just got dominated and lost his title. So this is the return oppo for him. He believes that if he gets this one done in spectacular fashion, then he's right back in the conversation for him to get his belt back. But it's a tough fight against the SIG in this one. So are you taking Carlos Prates as a slight favorite over Jack Della, or in Perth, in his backyard, Jack Della rediscovers his sauce and puts out the SIG?
Yeah, I don't know if he'll put the SIG out. I don't know if he's gonna get that sauce back, but I think Carlos is gonna rip a SIG right in his face this weekend. I think he's gonna rip the SIG, flick the ash, and knock him out. I think it's gonna be within 2 rounds. If it goes honestly the distance, I think Jack probably wins that. To be fair, but I think it needs to end within the first 2 rounds, and Carlos has a chance. The longer it goes, I think the worse it's gonna get for him.
Yeah, Tapology is mirroring that perspective for sure. It's basically split. Jack Della's got 52%, but it's all beige for the decision if he does get it done. 48% going with the SIG, meanwhile, basically all brown. So they think that it's likely the early finish pathway that will be available for the Nightmare. Jack Della, meanwhile, to your point, the longer the fight goes, more advantageous it will be for him. But in this fight, if you're taking Prates, then you're banking on the idea that the length, the size, the power that Prates will have over Jack Della will be enough to put his lights out, because Jack Della is a dude who we know can eat a punch, right? Like, this is a dude who's very difficult to finish. Do you think that Carlos Prates will just be able to get it done in round one or two?
Yeah, I think he should be able to get it done. I think it'll be. I mean, it's gonna be a tough, because the guy is tough, but I think with his sniping arm reach and his speed, I think he'll be able to catch Jack off guard.
He'd be the first one to be able to do it in a long time. Jack Della only has been finished by strikes once very, very early in his career, and obviously hasn't been finished in the UFC. So should be a good one for sure. I'm ever so slightly leaning Jack Della in this one. The fighter that he was against Bilal, to me, suggests that he's probably going to do that same thing to Prates. I mean, Bilal just got absolutely dominated in that fight, and I can see this fight being similar for some reason. I just don't know if Carlos Prates will be able to stuff the mini Mendez style onslaught that's coming his way. I just see Jack Della as this little muscle shark dude who's going to find a way to make it ugly, survive 10 minutes, and then really put the onslaught on Carlos Prates. Because I'm with you. I do agree with the analysis. I think that those first 2 rounds will be the most dangerous, but I think Jack Della's going to survive. The dude is, fighting with a renewed focus, a renewed purpose even, and I think that's going to suit him well. He seems to me like a guy who will rise to the occasion in like these gamer opportunities, right? This is his backyard title opportunity, meat event. I just see him capitalizing. So I got Jack Della either late finish or decision. If you're taking Prates, are you going to go first round or second?
I'm gonna go second round with Pratis, but it's got to be early. The later it goes, the more downside it's gonna be for him.
It could be for sure. I've picked against Prates before, and he's, even that fight most recent against Leon Edwards, when he put him out in the second round, to your point, it could definitely be a pathway for sure. Either way, should be a fun meat event. Any last thoughts on Perth, Meat Boy? Decent four-banger, Dariush, Doglog. Any last thoughts?
No, absolute dog log, nothing but a lock dog.